It's been called the downfall of Diddy, but are we also witnessing a further downfall of Kanye West? The Grammy-winning artist that some believe is a musical genius recently went on a crazed social media rant that included, among other things, a call to free Puff. We're going to dig into the latest posts and alleged collaborations and connections between Kanye West and Sean Combs. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Sean Diddy Combs has dominated headlines around the world for months, and as you know, not for great reasons. But over the last couple of weeks, another embattled rapper has been in the spotlight, Kanye West. And their two worlds have now collided once again, thanks to one of West's apparent tirades on X, formerly known as Twitter, which we'll get into, and it is something to say the least. But look, Combs is, of course, locked up in the Metropolitan Detention Center right now out in New York on federal charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He's set to go to trial in May. Prosecutors say he forced people to have sex with him and each other, often allegedly having his staff hire commercial sex workers to participate. He's entered a not guilty plea. He has maintained his innocence ever since his arrest last September. And I should also add that it seems like almost every day, maybe every week, maybe every other week, he is hit with another sexual assault lawsuit. We actually have a sidebar coming out about a man who claims that he was drugged at a New York City nightclub back in 2012 and raped by Combs when he was 17 years old. We did another episode last week about an adult male entertainer, a dancer, who claims that Combs drugged him and forced him into various sex acts, literally physically forcing him to do it. And he claims he was a victim of sex trafficking, that this alleged abuse went on for 5 years. And we have claims that Combs allegedly assaulted men, women, and even children. And how can we forget that Combs is also facing a lawsuit from a woman who claims that she was assaulted by him, and talking another rapper, Jay-Z, back in 2000 when she was just 13 years old. Bottom line, Sean Combs is fighting a lot of different legal battles right now, and coming to his defense, coming to his side from a PR point of view, not great. A lot of people who've known Sean Combs haven't spoken out about him, and I understand why. Now, of course, he's innocent until proven guilty. He has not been found liable in any of these sexual assault cases, but brings us to Kanye West. Because let's talk about Kanye West, who's no stranger to controversy. West, for his part right now, he has been traveling a lot internationally. Vibe reported that he's been to Paris, Tuscany, Russia, Japan, appearing alongside his wife Bianca Censori, who is often scantily clad. West caused quite a scandal in Venice, by the way, when he was seen allegedly without any pants on, exposing himself on a water taxi in Venice. And of course, there was some of that happening here at home too. At the Grammys a couple weeks ago, West and Censori were being photographed on the red carpet when Censori suddenly dropped her coat, revealing her basically nude body. They posed for more photographs before eventually leaving. The rumor was that West and Censori were kicked out of the event for that stunt, but it appears to be just that, a rumor. But needless to say, he's been making the headlines. And that kind of gets you caught up to speed on both Kanye West and Sean Combs. Hey, by the way, when it comes to Combs and West lately, we have been focusing a lot on the lawsuits, the complexities of the cases, litigation, and I think it reminds you just how important it is to have a great lawyer on your side, especially, let me tell you, in personal injury cases, that becomes key. And that is why I want to call out our great partner and sponsor, Morgan & Morgan, a firm with over 1,000 attorneys, and that's because they win a lot. In the past few months, Morgan & Morgan secured a $29 million verdict for a bicyclist in Philadelphia, $2.7 million verdict for a car accident victim in Florida, not to mention $5.6 million for a car crash victim in Georgia after insurance offered that client $0. And even if you think your case isn't worth millions of dollars, why not start a claim and fight for what you deserve? Morgan & Morgan makes it truly so simple. You can start a claim from your phone in just 8 clicks. So if you're injured, you can easily start a claim at forthepeople.com/LC Sidebar or click the link in the description and pinned in the comments. West and Combs' friendship goes back years. They collaborated on one of West's singles in 2015, and later that year they worked together on an album. At the 2022 BET Awards, West presented Combs with the Lifetime Achievement Award, called him his idol, called him his favorite artist. West said he still went to Combs for advice and that Combs inspired many of his life choices, even his wife choices, perhaps in apparent reference to his then-wife, Kim Kardashian. But according to the Mirror, Combs has said that West inspired him as well. In 2009, Combs reportedly said that the other night I go to the Kanye West concert and I'm going there to see Kanye do his thing. I don't have anything but high expectations. The concert changed my life. I won't lie. I was so impressed and inspired. It was beautiful and I fell in love with hip hop again. And I want to say thank you, Kanye, for giving me that. However, just a few months after West presented Combs with the Lifetime Achievement Award, the relationship seemed to sour between the two of them when Combs took issue with West's t-shirts that said, "White Lives Matter." Now, he said during an appearance on The Breakfast Club that he thought the shirts were tone deaf. He would go on to reportedly say, including on an Instagram post, that Black Lives Matter was our slogan. That wasn't our slogan to go share with nobody else. You have to be unapologetically black and love your people and love your tribe first. Combs also added, what the press and what fashion is doing, thinking this is a joke, when right now all America is planned for is poverty, incarceration, and death. So before I can get to any other lives matter, which all lives matter, you know what I'm saying, that Black Lives Matter, don't play with it. And he added, don't wear the shirt, don't buy the shirt, don't play with the shirt, it's not a joke. Well, not long after those comments, Kanye West apparently posted screenshots of text conversations, messages between himself and someone identified in the thread as just Puff, seemingly a reference to one of the many nicknames that Sean Combs has had over the years. So West says in part in these messages, I didn't like our convo. I'm selling these teas. Nobody gets between me and my money. This is my grandfather texting you now. Never call me with no BS like that again unless you're ready to green light me, because anybody who got on that tee is me. Out of respect for everything you've meant to me, I'll be quiet as Virgil, meaning Virgil Abloh, who passed away. But now I know how I've hurt people I love with threats. And he seemed to follow it up with, come do something illegal to me now, please. Now, the alleged Combs side of the conversation responds, N-word, send me address. Let's stop playing these internet games and don't feel threatened. You'll be fine. Just love. To which West reportedly replies, this ain't a game. I'ma use you as an example to show the Jewish people that told you to call me that no one can threaten or influence me. I told you this was war. Now gonna get you some business. West apparently followed up with another post in which Combs allegedly texted him, as soon as I land, we'll meet face to face, to which West responded, N-word, F you. Now, in the final part of this alleged exchange between the two rappers, Combs allegedly wrote, I'm just trying to talk to you as a black man, and I'm talking to you because this is hurting our people. Stop. West apparently responded, anything you text, I will post. I love you, and you guys are breaking my heart. I accept your apology in advance. Okay, putting that to the side. Now let's get back to Kanye West and Sensori's red carpet moment, because just as the coverage started to subside, West flipped the script on his X page. So his page has since been removed, and I'll get more on that in a moment, but screenshots of his tweets show he posted in all caps, free Puff. He then went on to post or tweet, all these celebrity N-words and B-words is scared. Y'all will watch our brother rot and never say S. He went on to post, I stood up for Puff and I'm still winning 20 Grammys next year and doing the Super Bowl. He also tweeted that, or posted that slavery is a choice, which of course got some backlash from other X-users. But West seemed to double down as his rant continued with, what you all gonna do? Cancel my sneaker deal? Cancel my record deal? Freeze my accounts? F y'all N-words. Slavery is a choice. I am speaking my mind now. I ain't editing. S again ever. And he later tweeted, this man gave his life to us. This is my idol. This is my hero, seemingly referencing Sean Combs. And then there's this one, because he even announced a collaboration between himself and Sean Combs' fashion line, Sean John, saying that t-shirts would be made available on the Yeezy website, seemingly as a way to maybe raise money for Sean Combs or support Sean Combs as he's locked up in the MDC. And he also said that he and Combs would be splitting the profits 50-50, but later corrected himself saying, I just found out that Puff is not allowed to make or collect money while he's locked up, so I'm going to send the half of the money to Justin, seemingly referring to Justin Dior Combs, Combs' son. By the way, the Daily Mail reports recently that both Justin and Christian Combs were seen arriving at the hotel that West was staying at in Los Angeles. Actually, it was reported they left carrying packages that contained clothing that was gifted to them by Kanye West. Again, this is according to the Daily Mail. This came, by the way, the same day that West apparently tweeted or posted, "Puff is a way better dad than me, dad, and way better dad than me." He posted a photo of Combs on a red carpet with his children and said, "I wish I had the relationship with my dad that Puff has with his kids." And West also tweeted over the weekend,
"Just for clarity, they trying to make an example out of Puff. Me and my brother had our issues, but these white people trying to use Puff to scare N-words. I'm neither scared nor brave. This just me."
And by the way, Sean Combs' Instagram account shared the post about the collaboration, writing, "Thank you to my brother Ye." Back to the shirt. The blue shirt with the Sean John logo that was apparently put up, it really wasn't up there for long because it was reportedly eventually replaced by something else. Do you know what that was? A single white t-shirt with a black swastika on it, selling for $20. Yeah. At the time of this recording, that website now appears to be offline. Kind of give you an idea of what's going on here. And from there, West's posts, they just devolved into what many people view as purely anti-Semitic, homophobic, and racist comments that we won't even dignify with airtime, okay? Now, West, unsurprisingly, has faced serious backlash in the past for his use of slurs, as well as what appears to be blatant anti-Semitism online and in his interviews. Some of those consequences have included loss of collaborations and sponsorships, as well as West's products being removed from shelves at stores like TJ Maxx and Foot Locker. He also underwent bans, some temporary, some not, several on his social media accounts. Although Elon Musk did restore his access to his X page in 2023, West did eventually post a message in Hebrew on his Instagram page in 2023 apologizing for his past remarks, but soon, he was back to sharing apparent anti-Semitic rhetoric, so I don't know how much good that did. But things didn't really improve for West when a former employee sued him for allegedly sexually assaulting her and then firing her later on. And by the way, this connects back to Combs because Lauren Pashota, who filed this amended complaint in October, claimed that before she had worked as West's assistant, he had co-hosted a party with Sean Combs in Santa Monica, California. And she says at the time she was working with a different musician client who wasn't identified in the complaint, but who'd been invited to the studio party. And she claims that West told everyone that they had to drink or leave the party, but after drinking a few sips of her drink, Pashota claims she, quote, suddenly started to feel disoriented and began to slip into an altered and highly impaired state. And Pashota says that she doesn't remember anything else, woke up the next day feeling traumatized and disturbed. But here's the thing. The amended complaint says that Pashota initially was just mostly worried that maybe she made a fool of herself, that she was embarrassed in front of her then client or maybe even Kanye West herself by getting, tipsy. But Pashota reportedly believed that someone who had helped prepare the drinks was responsible for drugging her. But here's the thing. Years down the line, he allegedly confessed to Pashota that the two had, quote, hooked up at that party after she was allegedly drugged. According to Pashota, West was having an argument with his then wife, Kim Kardashian, who was accusing him of cheating on her with Pashota. And Pashota wanted to clear things up and suggested that she reach out to Kim to assure her that nothing had ever happened. But she claims West stopped her from sending the message saying, "We did kind of hook up a little one time." And she says he started to reminisce about that party years before. And when Pashota said she didn't remember any of that, he reportedly laughed and said, "Women love to say they don't remember." Now, that lawsuit between Pashota and West is still making its way through the Los Angeles civil court system, but it is another connection between Combs and West. But we have another connection between Kanye West and Sean Combs we want to talk about. So as West's rampage on X continued over the weekend, he shares a screenshot of the infamous hotel video of Combs and his now ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, who filed that initial lawsuit against him back in 2023. And in that surveillance footage that was released by CNN last year, Combs can be seen chasing Ventura down the hallway of a Los Angeles hotel in 2016. He appears to hit and kick her repeatedly. Combs even eventually admitted in a now deleted Instagram post that it was him in the video and he regretted his actions. I mean, that seemed to be what he was saying.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, I'm going to rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
But here's the thing, going back to Kanye West, in a rather distasteful move, West put up a photo of Cassandra Ventura from that video next to a stock image of the hoodie that she's wearing, saying the Love hoodie is available on his website. He also apparently wrote in another post, "You have to truly be in love to get to the point of risking everything." Now, in another bizarre tweet post, West at one point over the weekend tweeted photos of Combs at the Grammys in 2000 with his then girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, and he captioned it, "Remember when J-Lo pulled up to the red carpet with my twin?" Again, strange. Don't know what's leading him to post so much and talk so much about Sean Combs right now. But I'll tell you, that's apparently not the only thing that he posted. It's been reported that he also apparently posted pornographic content, and that got a response from Elon Musk, who owns X. It was brought up to him in the comments, and Musk ended up writing, "Given what he has posted, his account is now classified as NSFW, not safe for work. You should not be seeing that anymore." And before his account went dark, Kanye West reportedly wrote, "I'm logging out of Twitter. I appreciate Elon for allowing me to vent. It has been very cathartic to use the world as a sounding board." Still unclear if Kanye West himself deactivated the account or if X shut it down. But I actually want to circle back now to Lauren Peixota's lawsuit against Kanye West because, again, it's currently moving through the LA courts, but it was reported, and the reason I think it's relevant to bring it up again, is that it was reported in the tabloids that one of the reasons West had been out of the country so much is to avoid the lawsuits that he's currently facing. No way to confirm that for sure, but given that we're talking about a whole host of litigation in the Sean Combs case and now Kanye West, let me circle back to Peixota. And by the way, there's another connection between Combs we'll get to in a second. So Peixota sued for 15 claims, 15 causes of action, including everything from breach of contract to wrongful termination, sexual harassment, unpaid wages, gender discrimination. And she also named not only West, but also his companies, Yeezy Apparel, Yeezy Footwear, Yeezy Construction. The suit reads, plaintiff has worked in the music industry for approximately 15 years. She has successfully held positions in and as artist management and representation, A&R, marketing consultant, and project management. Due to her professional success, plaintiff had occasions to interact professionally with many artists, including without limitation defendant Kanye West, aka Ye. Plaintiff creatively collaborated with defendant on Yeezy Season 1 women's fashion line and placed 3 songs on Donda, Kanye's 2021 album. So West allegedly wanted to make Peixota his executive assistant, personal assistant in connection with his business affairs and his personal life. So they agreed on a salary, according to her, of $1 million a year, and according to Peixota, she was required to be available 24/7. The filing states, at all relevant times, defendant West was aware the plaintiff maintained a strong social media presence comprised of her Instagram and an OnlyFans account, the latter of which was run entirely by an independent management company, and he did not have any issue or objection to it. To the contrary, defendant West often boasted to friends and colleagues that plaintiff was, quote, an OnlyFans superstar. But that seemed to change, according to Peixota, because she writes, much later, in and around August 2022, defendant West stated that he wanted plaintiff to be godlike and asked plaintiff to delete her OnlyFans account. Defendant West agreed to pay plaintiff $1 million if she did so. In further reliance upon defendant's representations, plaintiff deleted her OnlyFans internet account, thereby giving up the annual sums generated from such account. West never paid plaintiff as promised. And then from there, Peixota just alleges that West described these sexual fantasies to her via text. The filing includes screenshots of explicit texts and comments allegedly made by West. The document states that West asked plaintiff to get him honey, so this sexual enhancer and performance honey, and that defendant required that plaintiff always have this on hand and available, and she had to deliver it to defendant in advance of defendant's sexual encounters. By the way, that is similar to some of the allegations that have been made against Sean Combs, because investigators who searched his LA and Miami homes back in March said that they found hundreds and hundreds of bottles of baby oil and lubricant, and there have been allegations from people who work closely with Combs, like music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, that Combs would force his employees to carry around drugs in fanny packs so they were always available to him. And Combs was also accused of forcing his employees to set up his so-called freak-offs, which included the lighting and the cameras, plus the procurement of sex workers and drugs. That's a main allegation in the criminal case. But going back to West, he would allegedly share details with Pichota about his latest sexual conquests, as well as ones in the past, including the time he says that he had sex with an A-list celebrity who wasn't named in the filing, and then texted, "Not sure why that thought came to me." Pichota also claims that West told his now wife, Bianca Censori, that he wanted to have sex with her mom while she watched. This was reportedly one of his kinks, that he wanted to have sex with the mothers of women he was involved with. Censori is an Australian architect and model. She's currently the head of architecture at Yeezy, Kanye West clothing line. But Pichota claims that West texted Censori about his fantasy, and Censori responded in a way that brushed off the mom comment but was still sexually explicit. Pichota claims that West sent her a screenshot of the text, asking if he should have worded it a different way. According to Pichota, Censori, who was on a working visa, allegedly responded to West in a way insisted upon and required by West so she could keep her job. The two were married in 2022. And by the way, it's been reported that Lauren Pichota has alleged that Kanye West touched, groped, fondled, grabbed, and forced himself in and on her multiple times without her consent. But for now, Pichota has not accused Sean Combs of any wrongdoing, just her former boss. But there you go, some connections between Kanye West and Sean Combs. But that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you should get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber. I'll speak to you next time.